Alright guys, so you're here with Mike's Supercar Top Speed channel, and today we're going to take you for a ride in Project Vulcan. Now, as some of you may know or have seen some of the background about Project Vulcan, this Pagani Huayra holds a very unique place in my heart. And of course, because of our background with what Prestige Imports and Lamborghini Miami and Pagani Miami is. You know, I'm the CEO of Prestige. I had an opportunity to take over the dealership at the unfortunate, untimely passing of my father. And the car world and the car business has had such a soft place in my heart because I grew up in it. And I was able to be at the dealership working hand in hand next to my father. But many cars, as you can imagine, doing something every day, many cars become a little numb to me, a little less exciting. Because when you're around something every day, you lose a little bit of emotion. It's difficult to have that loss of emotion with Lamborghinis and Paganis, but with Project Vulcan, this vehicle, with the commemorative plate in the middle of my father, is different. Because this car screams passion, this car screams excitement, this car screams a story and a heritage, going all the way back to when I was 14 or 15 years old, getting the first Auto Week magazine, where the Zonda graced the cover. And I'll never forget the day that my father came down to the breakfast table, threw this down and said, "Brett, this vehicle, this man's passion, this is what's going to make the next automotive supercar marvel." And after years later, Horacio Pagani actually did it with the creation of the Huayra. Now, the Huayra is not about speed and performance, or I should say not just about speed and performance. The Pagani Huayra is a true piece of performing art, where Horacio Pagani continues to follow the concept of form and function, where everything in this vehicle has a purpose, and the things that don't are not performance-driven items, it's more aesthetics. Now, I've driven my car along with other Huayras thousands and thousands of miles, and have noticed every different characteristic and creature comfort of the car. But something that's very incredible is not just the performance, but when you're sitting in the vehicle, the way that this vehicle for any owner is, it's a well-tailored suit. From the optionability for you to be able to choose different leather samples, carbon textile colors, either if it's matte or wet carbon, colored carbon, areas where you want to have color or not, and of course exterior design. This is different than just going in and buying a sports car today. This is actually allowing yourself to sit down with the team and the living legend himself, Horacio Pagani, and creating one of the most unbelievable mythical sports cars. And that was the same passion that I think my father and I experienced years before he passed, when we went to the factory to meet Horacio and told me, "Brett, I have to have this franchise. We have to represent this man's dream." And years later, "Dad, we did it." And this car, I will never get rid of. This car sits in the home collection. And there's many days that I go out and I just go and I share stories with myself while I look at the car or close friends or family. And I become amazed with it. Because as everybody that's seen Pagani product out there, the attention to detail is so incredible. But being able to understand the story behind my experience Pagani, along with many other Pagani owners out there, like Sparky and of course Lamborghini KS, I think Pagani has a soft spot in many Pagani owners' hearts for their own unique story, rhyme or reason, I should say. Now, the cool thing about driving the Huayra is that regardless of how exotic this vehicle looks, and regardless of how crazy this car actually is, it still drives when you want it to, and when you have enough confidence to, you can drive it every day without a fear or concern of common usage. Now we're going to go back on the main road because I want to put the windows down so you have a true understanding of the sound, of the emotion that Horacio Pagani and the team creates when they build these vehicles. Because on this AMG block, when you hear that turbo spool, It's the closest thing, in my opinion, to being in the cockpit of an airplane. To have those exhilarating sounds be right behind your eardrums with the windows down or with the windows up. Only on this channel are we going to have an opportunity, and are you going to have an opportunity to experience that. So as we make a right, we're going to throw the windows down.
Let's go.
Oh, we got a red light. Now, of course, also before we go, a lot of the functionalities of the touchscreen, the MMI system on the Pagani Huayra has actually been updated by the factory, so we're just waiting for this new one to be installed in Project Vulcan. Of course, me being a dealer, customers' cars come first, because some of these items aren't made in bulk. But as you see the detail around the car, and the way that I personally designed this one, with the dry carbon upper monocoque, all the way to the red casing around the steering, center of the MMI, and the seats. I wanted something a little different that fit my personality. And we're gonna hit the comfort button, and then we're gonna go into sport. And of course, you can drive this vehicle with both paddles or the shift points at the hand. But right now in second gear, let's give it a whirl. Of course, you have the active front wings and of course the active rear wings to give it an unbelievable downforce grip, not just on acceleration and braking in a straightaway, but also when you're out on the track making turns. Now as I downshift, I'm in third, I'm going to second, bouncing off those 3,500 RPMs. It's an absolute rocket ship. And it's not just all about the speed, like I said. I have this silly grin and this silly smile that I can't get off my face every single time I hear those turbos spool up and my hand grips the steering wheel and my little finger taps the up or downshift button. It's an amount of excitement that Horacio Pagani and the team developed, like I said, not just about a high-performance driving car. We've driven everything you can imagine, from Bugattis to Koenigsegg's to other Pagani product to Lamborghini, Ferrari. This is something that is completely unique. Now at the dealership, you know we've had multiple Paganis for sale and resale. We like to consider us one of the biggest new and pre-owned Pagani dealers in the country. Although there's just a few select dealers, we have great dealers in the Northeast like Miller Motor Cars. That team up there is absolutely fanatic about Pagani like we are. They share the same vision. We have a dealer in California called British Motor Cars with a great team out there. Great run dealership, great employees, with an individual there named Vince that loves what he does and shares the exact same passion we do. I think the network is also very important for Pagani because it's not just about, like I said, selling cars. It's about having people understand the admission statement and understand what Pagani is.
Wow.
Incredible,
That's the sound, yes. I love it.
What's also very cool is we're driving around the new Pagani Miami showroom that's under development here for Prestige Imports. It's actually the northbound parcel to the larger overscope project, which I can't mention too much about because everybody's about to see it. But even in a low situation of low speeds, under 10-15 miles an hour, with a slight amount of acceleration, you can still feel and hear that Pagani roar. And I can't wait for you guys to come check out the new facility once the new Pagani Miami showroom's done. But stay tuned, because what's about to see is a more detailed look of the Pagani Huayra Project Vulcan, where this channel, and only this channel, Mike has taken an opportunity to compile all different angles of events where Project Vulcan's been, and some detailed shots with some of the real commemorative things about this one specific Huayra that means a lot to me and my family, and of course, I'd like to hope means a lot to some of the automotive enthusiasts that are out there. So please stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, and the next video that we do will be insane, open roads on the track, but I want you to get a vision of what this car looks like from the outside. So stay tuned.
Windows down. Kurt, up is on the right. Up's on the right. Watch, can I come down here? 60 bucks. That's good.